author, Sarah Appelman, is here to explain. We've got some toys and some fun things. So, Sarah, great to see you again. And we've got Amy as well back with us. So, Amy, we'll talk to you as well. First of all, what is an occupational therapist?
Now, that is the best question, because everyone always thinks that I'm here to get a job for kids, and I'm not. That is not what we do. Basically, an occupational therapist's role is to help a child function in their daily life skills. And what that is think about when a child wakes up in the morning. They have to groom, self-care, go to school, writing, cutting, coloring, play, sports. And what do they need to do? They have to have fine motor skills, gross motor skills. And unfortunately, children with autism have delays in those areas, one or more, and we have to come in to help them so that they're able to master those skills. And we get to bring some fun toys to play with.
So you're talking about the five sensories, right? The sight and the sound and the touch and things of that nature, taste. And you brought a bunch of different items here. How do you use these items to help with a child who is autistic?
The main thing about sensory processing, SPD, or sensory processing disorders, what it's known for today, it's for survival. So if you're talking to someone and you put your hand on a counter and you don't realize that that's hot, before you even know, your hand is off, because your brain is protecting your body. That's what it's for. The purpose of survival that's what sensory processing is. It's for survival. So did you ever go buy fresh milk? What's the first thing you do when you open that milk?
You smell it.
Why? You just bought that milk. You know that milk is okay, but you smell it because some point along the line, maybe you ate something and it's bitter and it doesn't taste good. You'd want to protect your stomach. You don't want to hurt. So the purpose of a typical, as they say, functioning sensory system is to protect yourself, is to make sure that you are surviving, you're okay. Well, there's two sensory pieces that we don't talk about. Probably in kindergarten, it's hard for you to pronounce it and spell it, but it's also a little more difficult. And one of it is called proprioception, which we'll demonstrate with you now. Okay. So close your eyes, raise your right hand. Okay, open your eyes. So how did you know that was your right hand, and how did you know up versus down?
I've just learned it over the years.
Exactly. So proprioception is the term utilized inside your body. There's muscles, joints, and tendons, and that it impacts on your brain, tells you where it is in space and how it is in your environment. So you know that that's your right arm. You know that this is up and this is down. The vestibular system is another one that we talk about, and it's in your inner ear, and it's about keeping your body upright and your head in relation to gravity and movement. And what happens is your entire life you're supposed to be standing up, but what happens is if you have a change, do you ever see a train and you're at the station and you're just stepping on your brake because you think it's moving, and you're like, oh, I'm stepping on my brake, and it's really something else is going, another car's moving and the train's moving.
And I'm on the train?
No, you're in the car next to it. And you're stepping on your brake, you're like, I'm not going, and, and then you're stepping on your brake and it tricks you.
It tricks you, sure, okay.
Or some people love roller coasters and other people don't like roller coasters. Yeah. So these are the types of things that are your sensory system. That's basically what we talk about. Children who are diagnosed with autism don't have a typical functioning system. So they interpret this stimuli and they don't know how to interpret it in a typical manner. So what happens is they get overstimulated or understimulated. And so what we do is we bring some toys and some different things to help regulate. I work in an office in Sorrento Mesa, and it's called FITS, Functional Integration Therapy Services, and they have huge apparatuses and a great team. I couldn't bring all that, so I did bring a couple of things. So let's say there's a kid with tactile defensiveness.
Amy, did you use any of these things?
Yes, I personally feel like OT is one of the most important therapies you can give to a child. Occupational therapy. Sorry, us autism parents, it's all about acronyms.
But it's the best thing for children.
Because if you have hypersensitive hearing or vision, and the lights, like when my children were little, we'd go into the supermarket and they can hear the lights buzzing, so they would have all these behaviors and not be able to like go shopping because everything is so overwhelming. Well, if you can work on getting their senses more regulated to where they can not be so overwhelmed by that, then you can go out and function in the community. And I mean, that makes a tremendous difference in your ability to have a good quality of life.
Well, that's an interesting example. How would you treat a child who can hear the buzzing of the lights?
That's exactly what we work with. So we have, different techniques that we utilize for desensitization programs. So we have noise canceling headphones. I don't know if you've used this, or we have auditory AIT is like auditory integrative therapeutic training.
So you start with those, and then hopefully eventually they don't need them?
Well, we also have different techniques. So in your home, while there's like a calming area, we tell parents, turn on music, white noises such as fans, or things that they enjoy during a calming state so that they can get used to it and acclimate, desensitize. If you're a tactile defensive, you don't like we heard before about touch. Right. So there are people who love touch and people who avoid touch because, again, it's a spectrum disorder. So these are ways to work on kids, like all these different, there's slime. I mean, the rage is slime. Everyone, I have a daughter who loves slime and her kids love, everybody loves slime.
So how would you use slime to help somebody?
So a child who's tactile defensive, which means they overreact, they don't want to touch it, you hide, let's say, objects or things, and they would have to like pick it up.